Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. Today we come together in our time of affirmative prayer. We're going to do a prayer on releasing the word should and all of its synonyms. So let's get ready for that. Let's center ourselves in knowing that there is one perfect life. That life is our life, it's your life, it's my life. In the affirmative process, we always remind people the first step of treatment, which is for us to go within and recognize that, there is this indwelling spirit, there is this one power, and that this power is in everything and everyone. So I invite you to go and take that moment, take that pause to recognize and know that you live, you move, you have your being in this divine essence, that this aliveness is in you, and I'd like you to realize and recognize this same power and presence is in everyone and everywhere. It always has been here, it always will be here. So each of us are alive in this presence. And so we come together in prayer and we recognize that there is this one power everywhere present, and that present is in us. So today's affirmative prayer is to let go of all these limiting words, should and got to and must and ought to and all of that. In this prayer, we delve not only into the word should, but also what we'll call other directive language, other language that's perhaps most often critical. Louise would say this is the word that, in the English language, that she would like to discard completely, because in most cases, she would say it's making ourselves wrong or someone else wrong. So we're going to release that word and others that are very similar today. Language that might be mirrors of our critical nature. So we want to aim to release these thoughts and these patterns for our growth and our healing. In affirmative prayer, our journey always begins, as I said, with recognition, acknowledging the ever-present divine energy that's within us. And it's a presence, it's never an absence. So we wake up to that every day, and we recognize that it's here and it's now and it's thrilling and it's in us and through us, and we see it in everyone else too. That's what we do in this wonderful teaching. This presence, this energy is unconditional love and it's wisdom, and it's available to you. You can tune into it 24 hours a day. It's within you, it's around you. It guides and transforms our worlds. It transforms our thinking whenever we invite it into our awareness. And in this teaching, we always want to trade in our critical thinking for thoughts that are more compassionate, more loving. This affirmative prayer will help us recognize the subtleties of our language and our conversation with ourselves and how all of it impacts our well-being. So let's start. As we embark on this prayer, which I do in the first person, let's consider the words like must, ought to, have to, need to, can box us into a corner where we're judging and we're criticizing ourselves or others. These words, again, I was mentioning Louise like should, often reflect an undercurrent of a need to control or impose standards, whether on ourselves or others. So today, again, we seek to release these patterns in affirmative prayer to embrace a much more loving, forgiving, and a healing approach to life. So here we are in the first person. In the nurturing presence of the divine, I affirm my path to inner peace and self-healing, to happiness. I release now the constraints of words like should, must, got to, have to, need to. These words, which often mirror my critical and controlling self, no longer serve my journey towards wholeness and love. I understand that this directive language often stems from some deep-seated habit of self-judgment and or external expectation. Today, in this new moment, I choose to step away from these words, from this habitual way of speaking and thinking, embracing the language of possibility, freedom, and self-expression, self-compassion. Louise Hay would say, I love myself the way I am. So today we choose to step away from these habits where we don't think we're good enough. And we want to declare, or I declare that I'm going to choose to use other words. I'm grateful for the awareness that my words and thoughts have power. With this knowledge, I consciously now shift my language patterns away from the old critical thoughts and thinking and words like should. I shift my language to reflect kindness, both towards myself and towards others. In releasing these patterns, I open my heart to self-healing. I acknowledge that healing comes from within. It comes from what I think and what I say. And I acknowledge that I am an agent of my own well-being. With each moment, I replace judgment with understanding. With each moment, I replace criticism with empathy. I celebrate my progress, understanding that that every step forward enriches my connection with the divine. I release the need to be perfect. I know that I'm making progress each and every day. With deep gratitude, I acknowledge this transformation is taking place within me. I'm embracing a life of compassion. I'm dedicated to it, free from the confines of critical language, critical thinking, critical thought. Confidently, I release these affirmations into the universe, knowing they resonate with the truth and knowing that my statement is powerful. I'm at peace now, surrounded by love, guided by the divine wisdom. And so it is.